yung impeachment, Sen Frank, gaya nga naman sinabi ko kanina, you're one of the a very, very small group of people who were able to participate in both impeachment trials that we have had. Yung kay President Erap Estrada and then more recently yung kay former Chief Justice Corona. So anong general insight niyo dito sa ongoing impeachment process kay VP Sara Duterte?
Well, ito pong proseso na nakalagay sa ating saligang batas, kailangan po ipagpatuloy natin dahil yan po ang remedy doon sa mga, in order to hold accountable the officials who are not otherwise subject to the standards of accountability. Halimbawa, ang Pangulo, by tradition, hindi mo na pwedeng i-demanda yan. Although, to be precise, they are not above the law. Pwede mong sampahan ng kaso yan. Ngunit, siguro ba in the order of things, yung mga kasong criminal, dapat pinagpapaliban muna hanggang matapos ang termino for practical purposes. Kaya, yung impeachment po is a process that is contained in our Constitution in order to hold accountable para po may pananagutan at may paraan na mananagot yung mga accountable officers gaya ng Pangulo, Pangalawang Pangulo, yung constitutional officers. Kaya po dapat ipatupad. Dahilan po, maalala natin, bakit po nagkaroon ng EDSA 2? Dahilan po yung failure ng impeachment trial no panahon ni dating Pangulong Erap Estrada, hindi po nabuksan yung second envelope.
Yeah.
Kaya there was a failure of the process, kaya lumabas yung tao sa kalsada. At yan po ang EDSA 2 dahil na-frustrate at ang proseso ay hindi sunod. Kaya po ito isang sinabi, yun po ay pinapakita na ang impeachment process ay kailangan natin so that we have ang tao by remedy na pasagutin yung mga may pagkukulang sa batas.
You know, FMD, you based on your memoirs, I read the memoirs of your experience in the impeachment, and they were both, no? I'd like to, maybe you can share with us how you handled the impeachment of Chief Justice Corona. I mean, you were a senator judge there, but you played a very critical role there, if I recall.
Well, okay. No other, there is only one standard. The senator judges should prepare dahilan po yung bansa nakatingin at ang proseso na nagay sa ating saligang batas ayan po ay umiiral sa isang impeachment trial. At kaya po para hindi po mawalan ng tiwala ang taong bayan sa ating demokrasya, dapat po ang impeachment process makikita na isang paraan na mananagot ang mga opisyales. At yan po ay mahirap na trabaho. At sabi ko nga, nung ako'y 2 beses po ako naging senator judge. Ang pinaka-importante, pag-aralan ng isang senator judge, ang bawat ebidensya na hinaharap, basahin ang transcript para sa ganon you can serve the people, serve the interest of truth at magkampanan mo ang constitutional duty na to hold accountable the higher officials of government. So, dapat po pag-aralan ng gusto. There is no substitute for preparation at every hearing. Hindi po madali dahilan sa usually ang trial niyan nung panahon ko 2 beses, alas 3 ng hapon. Alas 3 ng hapon hanggang sawa. At kung dapat po mag-aral ng gusto dahilan po ayan po ay para sa fishbowl yung 24 senador nasa television araw-araw at kung hindi kayo maghahanda either you will not be doing the duty, hindi po magampanan ang tungkulin na dapat inyong gampanan bilang senator judge?
I remember, let's go to the behind the scenes on the Corona impeachment trial. When the President Pinoy decided to go for an impeachment, were you one of those advisors of the President who said, sige, tuloy natin, or did you dissuade him or at least try to convince him? And I know that a number of cabinet secretaries were very concerned. Should we do this because it will spend a lot of political capital on the President? What was your advice to the President after he decided, let's go for an impeachment?
Firstly, I was not part of the group who advised him to go or not to go for the impeachment. Yung dumating po sa amin, nakapag-desisyon na ang Pangulo na susuportahin niya ang impeachment ni Chief Justice Corona. I was not part of the decision-making process. Ngunit noon pong nag-decide, siyempre pinaghandaan namin bilang kaalyado sa politika ng Pangulong Aquino. At talagang ako nag-aral. Nag-aral ako, kumuha ako ng mga additional staff sa aking tanggapan para po mapag-aralan namin ng husto ang mga ebidensya na harap sa amin.
Naalala ko kasi noon, Boss Frank, nung panahon na yon, medyo at the start of the hearing, medyo tagilid yung prosecution mahina. Naalala ko, you may isang witness na tinawag na may hawak ng SALN. At naalala very, very clearly the numbers, the survey numbers then that people were not very, very keen on this impeachment. Sabi, parang malabo ito. Could you recount to us the question, what happened to that particular witness, and because of what you did, nag-iba yung tingin ng tao sa kaso ng impeachment case?
Isang crucial issue doon sa impeachment trial ni Chief Justice Corona ay ang SALN, kung mayroon bang kung tama ba ang dideklarang properties ng Chief Justice Corona dun sa kanyang SALN. At ang SALN sa patakaran ng Korte Suprema, SALN ng mga justices, ay sinusubiti sa clerk of court.
Right.
Kung hindi ako nagkamali. Sinasubiti sa clerk of court at yan ang may hawak. And under the law, hindi mo po pwedeng silipin under the law, pwede pong silipin ng impeachment trial court ang SALN in order to show na talagang may pagkukulang kung tama ba ang reporting noong impeachable officer. Ngayon, ang may hawak nun, yung deputy clerk of court, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, hindi ko na maalala ang pangalan. Ngunit, ang sinabi niya, maalala ko lang, na binanggit niya in the course of her testimony na nasa kanyang opisina yung SALN ni Corona, Chief Justice Corona. And ito ang pinaka-importante, dala-dala niya noong hearing na yun. Dala-dala niya ang SALN, nasa kanyang physical possession. Kaya po pinilit ko na ilabas niya ang SALN at doon po nagkaliwanagan kung mayroong pagkukulang ang dating Chief Justice doon po sa kanyang declaration of his assets and liabilities. At yan po, sabi mo nga, nag-iba ang hangin nung napansin, nung nakita ng taong bayan kung ano po ang nakalagay sa kanyang SALN.
Did the defense object on your questioning?
No, they cannot object. I am a judge.
Because parang if I recall, parang sinasabi na tinutulungan niyo ang prosecution because I remember Attorney Mario Bautista could not even put in that question.
Yes, of course I was being charged as a senator judge prosecutor. But then, the three of us are lawyers, and we know that in a trial, the judge has the right to ask questions.
Clarificatory questions, tama.
To ferret out the truth.
Yeah.
So that was the purpose of my questioning, that it is interpreted as aiding the prosecution is immaterial to me. The principal, ang layunin ay dapat marinig ng taong bayan kung ano ang katotohanan. At yan po ang impeachment. Ang impeachment is to hold accountable the constitutional officers. So they interpret my questioning as being biased. Ngunit having said that, Edwin, alam mo, nung as kalagay sa libro ko, sa aking memoirs, sinabi ko na in-look ako ng Pangulong Aquino. Kasama yan si Secretary Abad na magiging Chief Justice.
Tama.
At kung hindi ko tinanggap, malaking bagay yon. Ngunit hindi ko tinanggap dahilan nga sa perception na ako po'y bias in favor of impeachment conviction. And sasabihin ng taong bayan, kaya po pala kinonvict si Corona, bumoto ka for conviction dahil gusto mo maging Chief Justice. I could never live it down, and it would be unfair to the impeachment process or institution kung tatanggapin ko only to be pilloried before a public forum, mumurahin po ako, ipapahiya ako, at sasabihin, kaya naman pala bumoto ka to convict, gusto mong palitan si Corona at gusto mo ikaw maging Chief Justice. So, that is not true because that was not in our minds, but that could be the perception. And one of those, that is one consideration kung bakit hindi ko tinanggap for the sake of the institution of impeachment.
In fact, kasama ako dun sa mga nagko-convince sa inyo. Nag-dinner pa tayo sa hotel para i-convince kayo maging Chief Justice. Pero mukhang tumakbo si Senator Dillon. Nag-abroad biglang nawala.
At saka hindi lang yun, Edwin. Marami sa mga kaibigan natin na incumbent justices sa Supreme Court doon. Tinatawagan ako at sinasabi, Senator Frank, tanggapin mo na at ang husgado ngayon ay hating-hati. Dalawang grupo kami rito, mayroong pro-corona, mayroong anti-corona, at nag-aaway na kami lahat. Kailangan namin ang katulad mo, outsider, na pwedeng buuhin ang husgado. At total, ang isa pa, Edwin, malapit na mag-retire noon or maraming nag-aspire na magiging Chief Justice. At siyempre, pag pumasok ang appointee na mahaba ang termino dahil sa malayo pa sa
70.
Hindi po mabubuo ang Court Suprema, kaya mag-aaway-aaway ulit. Ako at the time, I was already 68, so 2 taon na lang, kaya I was in terms of age, maikli lang para magkaroon ng bagong Chief Justice ulit. But all of those considerations I put aside dahilan sa ayaw kong masabi ng taong bayan na politika ang impeachment trial. Hindi ko tinanggap, and yes, I could have been Chief Justice even for 2 years.
Ako, masasabi ko lang sa Frank, I very, very deeply respect yung decision na yun na delikadesa. Parang, lalo na sa panahon ngayon, napaka-rare na nun. Pero, that said, tingin ko nag-lose out ang bansa dahil hindi nagkaroon ng Chief Justice, Frank Drilon.
Correct. Tama yun. Agree ako doon.
No,
Kasi
that's a fact of history.
in hindsight talaga, it was really the judiciary sort of went down because you didn't show up.